question that customers usually ask spiritual workers before they commit to doing spell work is, how long will it take for the spell to work? Well, you got to understand this, is that in order for you to get what you want, there's going to be movement. The movement is going to be things that are going to transpire. Now, in this case, this can be something that can be very confusing at times, because sometimes people do not have access to know what's going on with their target. So they assume, because they have not seen any movement, or let's just say contact, if it's love work, or they haven't seen the demise of their enemies, if it's black magic, this usually leaves the client in confusion. They don't know what's going on, so they assume that the spell isn't working, and this is not the case. When you have access to see what's going on, it makes your situation much better, because now you can see the progression of what you're doing. But now when it comes down to time frame, this all depends on your situation, because something can take place and manifest within days depending on what the situation is, and then some things can take a little longer. It can be weeks, it can be months, if not years. Depends on the gravity of the situation. I've seen certain people do love spells and certain things worked out for them within a couple of days. And I've seen people do love spells and things turned around for them in a couple of weeks. I've seen love spells also where people have done work and it manifested for them in months. I've also seen love work done where what they wanted manifested after a couple of years. I've seen breakup work done where what they wanted manifested in a couple of weeks. I've seen breakup work done where it manifested within a couple of years. You have to use reason. Someone who has been with someone for years is not going to break up with that person within 1 or 2 days. That's going to take some time in order to rearrange the relationship. I like to call it a counterbalance to that time where everything was progressive. So if you're looking at a situation like that, if they've been together for years and you're trying to separate these two people, it's going to take a long time to separate these people. Where per se, if you have a person that just met someone, they haven't created a bond or a love, what happens is that this thing here can easily be affected because the love isn't strong enough. The connection isn't strong enough. So even if it's to bring someone who is left, why did you guys separate? Was it over domestic violence? Was it over cheating? Was it over just minor disputes over bills? These situations are different. So the time it needs to work these things out will be a little different. So I would say this, if you haven't ended up in a domestic violence situation, you're not looking at a lot of times. If it hasn't been over cheating, you're not looking at a lot of time. But if it's the latter, I will say this, anything is possible, but you're definitely looking at a lot of opposition and you're looking at some time that you have to put in. So I want to say to people, if you don't have patience to sit still, then this is not the place for you.